Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki and today I'm part of a special challenge called Just Our Imagination. I will get to that in just a moment. Okay, our first challenge item is a duster. I buy these at the Dollar Tree. They go on a mop, but they work great for dusting my house, so I have a bunch of them. And I'm going to start off by cutting this right down the center. I'm trying to cut through the material, but not through the fur because it makes such a big mess. I'm going to cut my strip into about 2-inch sections, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there, use a screw or stick, and fold that over and hold it real tight for a minute. Once that's sticking, I'm just going to shake it out, and I'm going to use my scissors to trim it up a little bit. You'll see in a second, I'm going to give it a good haircut. I'm going to make a total of 6 of these. And this is where I go in and give it a good haircut. Originally, I wanted these to look like a dandelion. I wasn't so sure that they did look like that. So I thought if I put them together, maybe they'll look like pampas grass a little bit, or I don't know. You can call them dandelion, you can call them pampas grass, you can call them anything, I guess. I don't know. But they look really pretty with these assorted flowers I got at Walmart. And these flowers are so beautiful. They have bee balm in there. I think the pink ones might be cosmos. I think the purple might be salvia. And the pink one, I'm not sure. I was thinking maybe aster. But anyways, they're all really pretty. I love the colors, and I think the bee balm looks exactly like bee balm. So I take this embroidery round, and I'm gonna take some burlap, and that's what I'm gonna glue my hoop to. Just be careful because the glue will go right through the burlap and you'll either burn yourself or mess up your table. I'm gonna lay all the flowers out how I want them, and I'm gonna arrange them all, and then I'm gonna end up gluing them down to the burlap. I'm sticking this in here so you can see this is my inspiration pick, so you have to let me know what you think. I haven't seen these flowers before at Walmart. I got a whole bunch of them, of course, because, you know, I'm a hoarder and I got to go over the top and get everything. Look at my duster, though. It does resemble pampas grass. I know it's, you know, not the feathery look so much, but I think it's really pretty in with these flowers. I really had to hold them down for a second to get them to stick to that burlap. I'm sure there was a different way I could have done it. I'm going to add the other piece of the embroidery hoop on. These are really nice. I got these at Goodwill for $4. I have my grand dog a couple days a week, and every time I'm crafting, he comes up and says hello and gets little scratches and kisses. Walmart has really stepped up their game with flowers. I got these there too. I think these are dahlias. I'm not entirely sure, but I love them, and I'm putting just a couple in here. I have a lot of flowers going on, a lot of pink, but I think it comes out looking really pretty. I'm happy with it. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite flower is, if you have a flower garden, if you plant annuals, or if you have perennials that come back every year. I'd love to know. I have a small vegetable garden and I do have flowers around my house. Okay, I'm going to cut another piece of burlap, as you can see here. I got my silicone spatula here because I don't want to burn myself. I used a boatload of hot glue. I'm going to wrap that other piece of burlap around the front and glue that down. I really had a lot of fun making this project. This is different. All these projects today are different from anything that I've ever made. And I've been trying to use what I have. I could have went out and bought like an actual duster, but I'm not spending money on stuff I don't use. This is what I use, the mop heads. This is what I use for dusting. So in my mind, this works. Okay, I'm going to wrap some twine around the front. I lost my twine. If you watched my last video, I'm really bummed about that. I got to go buy some more. But I found this. It's like a cream colored twine. I really like it. It's pretty. So I wrapped that around, I don't know how many times, but as you can see, several. And where I tied it in the back, I left an overhang. So that's what I'm going to tie it off with. It's currently 88 degrees here on this day. Let me know how the weather is for you. I hear a lot of people are having high temps, and for us, this happened rather quickly. You know, it's been cold, it's been rainy, and then boom, it's 88 degrees today. Okay, once that's glued down, I'm going to take these flowers from Paper Studio. I got these at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to glue these down to the front of my burlap. And they also came with these little flowers, and I just, tuck those down in there too. I'm going to tighten my hoop, and then I found this ribbon at Michael's around Christmas time. I grabbed a macrame hoop and I looped that through the hoop and then glued that down. Next, I'm going to make a simple bow and glue that on the top. Now that the weather is warmer, what does everyone like to do? Do you like to go swimming? Do you have your own pool? Do you have a vacation coming up? Any trips planned? To be completely honest, I really don't do a whole lot. I am extremely introverted. I love being home. I love spending time with my animals and my husband. And, I go and visit my kids and spend time with them. I pretty much just stay within my state. I mean, I do have places I'd love to go, but, I'm content, I'm happy, and that's all that matters, right? I also have my older sister that I take care of, so I kind of need to be around just to make sure that she's all set. I do need to make plans to take her somewhere. I took her to her first concert last year to see Hailstorm. It's not my type of music. I cringed the whole time, but I stuck through it. It was really fun being able to share that experience with her. I completed my bow by dovetailing the ends of my ribbon. And this piece of wood I got at the Dollar Tree, and this rub-on transfer came from the DIY struggle. I'm not going to bother paint the wood. I love the look of the raw wood, and it will match the embroidery hoop just perfectly, especially after I distress it. It looks real nice with the hoop. The rub-on transfers from the DIY struggle are really nice. They apply easily, and look how beautiful they are. I'm using Distress ink in the color Walnut by Tim Holtz. I'm going to apply that all around the sides and try to blend it in the best I can. And then I'm going to go over it with some Mod Podge. I think that looks real pretty. And then I'll set that off to dry, and then I'm going to glue it right to the bottom of my hoop. And this is how it came out. Let me know what you think. I do love this. I think it's elegant and pretty. It's perfect for all year round. I think I might just keep this for myself. I added some fairy lights, and this is what it looks like at nighttime. I think it's so pretty. Okay, this is our monthly Just Our Imagination challenge. Our hosts are Kathy Joe from Kathy Joe's DIYs, Brenda from Rustic and Lace, and Cindy by Z9 Designs. Our next challenge item is paper towels. I'm using these Select-A-Size, and I'm going to make 3 different size circles. I didn't count how many paper towels I used. I just made a big stack and taped the sides. That way I could start in the center and my paper towels wouldn't go everywhere. Once I have them all cut, I'm going to put them into stacks, and I'm going to use some watercolors on them. I'm going to do black, purple, and like a burgundy color. I haven't made these roses before, but I've watched a bunch of tutorials on Instagram and on here, and they looked a lot of fun, and they are easy. It's just, cutting all your circles out. So I use black. I put a little gray in the center, and I'm not sure that putting some of the paint in the center actually did anything, but that's just what was going on in my mind at the time. Once they're done, I'm going to dunk them in water. There's no rhyme or reason how I'm doing this. I just dunk it in there. Off camera, I do put them on a baking tin, and I put them in the oven on warm so that they would dry quicker. Guys, I have been in such a mood to make Halloween, like dark, moody decor, and these last 2 projects are right down that alley. I'm real excited to do Christmas in July. I absolutely love crafting and decorating for Christmas. One of my friends said that she doesn't like to watch the tutorials. It stresses her out. I think a lot of people relate to bad weather and, watching your money fly out the window for Christmas. And for me, it's all about the decorating. I like my house to look like Christmas threw up. Okay, I'm not entirely sure where this came from, but I'm going to use this for my roses. I'm going to let you just watch me put these together. I think it'd be easier than trying to explain how I'm doing it. And I'll put on a little music, and hopefully you can find this part of the project relaxing. I'm going to glue a skewer stick down in there with some hot glue. And then I'm just going to lean it against the wall so it can dry. I got this wired twine online. If you've watched me before, you know that I've been using this quite a bit lately. And I'm going to take some masking tape and I'm going to make some leaves with this. You can see from the video how I'm making them, so I'll let you just go ahead and watch. I made quite a few of these because I had 8 roses and I wanted to have 3 leaves on each one. And I made them all different sizes so they'd look more realistic. And if these were painted green, they really would. I mean, these look real nice. I watched this reel on Instagram, and this woman was making mini monstera plants, and this is how she did it. They look so real. I think I'm going to try to do that for fun because I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I have a lot of house plants. And by a lot, I think the last time I counted, I had like 70, 72 house plants. And I'm actually trying to give some away because it's just so much to maintain. I feel like the ones that I leave alone and pretty much neglect, those are the ones that do so well. But I give them too much attention, they die on me. And it's always sad for me because some of these plants I've had for years, and one of them was my grandmother's. And when that died, I felt like a piece of me died. It was just awful. I painted all my leaves in the color black. This chalk paint I get at the Dollar General. And then I went over it with paint checkers metallic in the color purple moon. I just kind of distressed that over the leaves. Once I got my leaves where I wanted them, I took this floral tape. And once you get it started, you have to keep it nice and tight, and it goes on real good. But you can't try and go loose on it because it won't adhere to itself. And I left, if you can see here, I left the wire that I put in the leaves, and I went around the whole thing and then just trimmed it off on the bottom. I got this jar at work. Sometimes our patients leave behind some cool ones. And so I took this because it has a beautiful ornate detail on it. And I figured this would go really well with this project. So I started off with painting it with that same black chalk paint. I ended up doing 3 coats total. The second and third coat, I go in with some salt wash. I enjoy using salt wash, especially on glass because the surface is really hard to cover. But you can use salt wash on anything. It does add a lot of texture and depth to your project, and it does give it that aged look. And that's the look that I often go for. I like things to look old. I'm going to use the stippling motion to apply this, and I'm going to let this one dry overnight. That way when I go in with my third coat, I'll really get some nice high peaks on that one. And so if you can see here, it's really, really thick. It's pasty. So I often will mix my paint with my salt wash and then let it sit to the side for a while, and it just gets real thick. And then I do the same thing. I go over it with a stippling motion and then lightly brush down those peaks just a bit. Our third challenge item is a belt. I found these at Walmart in a pack of 3 in the kids section. I'm going to go over this with that same thick salt wash, and then I'm going to set that off to the side and let it dry. Okay, this is what our jar looks like the next day. I think it came out so good. Now that my belt is dry, I'm going to glue that to the top of the jar, and I'm going to end up doing 3 rows, and it does use the entire belt. I'm going to make a row, cut it, make a row, cut it. So all 3 of them are nice and even. What I love so much about this challenge is it really gets you thinking about, geez, what could I do with this item? And a lot of these things we wouldn't use in daily crafting. I mean, I would never think to use a belt. I could see myself using a paper towel for something. Once this is done, I'm going to distress the whole jar with that same metallic paint called Purple Moon. And this looks so pretty. It really brings out all the detail and the bell and on the jar. And here's my grand dog coming to say hello again. His name is Leo, by the way. He is the light of my life. It's funny though, because my children don't plan on having any, but I don't feel like I'm missing out because he is so special to me, and I feel like I have a grandson. I know he's a dog, but he's my grandson, and I love him to death. The second color that I'm going to use is Pewter by Luminaire, and I'm going to do the same thing, just dry brush that on. I really like how this is starting to come out. Let me know in the comments, would you make something like this? And if you would, what style would it be? Lastly, I'm going to use another metallic paint by Paint Chakor, and this is the color bronze, and I'm going to go over this very lightly. I don't want to put too much. And that completes this project. I think this came out so beautiful. I think the metallic paint really brought out the scroll on the vase. I did end up cutting the roses back. They're a little bit too elevated, but yeah, I'm happy with how this came out. I think it's really pretty. I have a real problem with letting things go to waste. So I used the remaining paper towels from when I cut out my circles, and I added some water, heated it up so it could break down a little more, and let it soak. And then I squeeze it out and put some Mod Podge in there. And this is going to be paper mache, just not exactly the same texture because it's so thick. I got this frame at Goodwill. It's a Dollar Tree frame, and I haven't seen black ones at my store, so I was really excited about getting this. I'm using this ring to help me draw out a crescent moon. I'm going to go over it using my Sharpie marker. I love all things moon related. I have several necklaces and rings, and back when I was doing a lot of macrameing, I made some dream catchers that were real nice. I feel really drawn to the moon, and I always have. I can always tell when it's going to be a full moon though, because I can't sleep for like at least 2 to 3 days before the full moon, and then a few days after. I can feel the effects, but I use my paper mache in my crescent moon, and I just take my little tweezers and kind of push it down so it sticks to the canvas. And because of the Mod Podge, I don't get that watercolor effect, unfortunately, but I do spritz it with my spray bottle just to kind of get it distributed. I do like how this comes out. I use the colors purple, pink, yellow, and black. I've been inspired to do some mixed media lately. My friend Tiffany at Simply Blessed Crafts does a lot of mixed media, and I really love a lot of the things that she makes, so I thought I'd give it a try. I got a steal on all these embellishments. I got them at Goodwill for $4, and I'm actually going to ship some off to my friend Clary. You should check out her YouTube. It's Clary's Part 2 Creations. She's really talented, and just tell her I sent you. I'm going to use a second belt on this. I'm going to make a frame. I was going to put them pink side up, but then decided to flip them over and, put them black side up. To adhere my embellishments, I used some Aleene's tacky glue, and I went into my scrapbooking supplies and found these corner pieces that I'm going to put on all four corners. I found these fine tip bottles at the Dollar Tree. These are perfect for things like this. I was picking through my scrapbooking stuff. I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to use, and I found some music sheets and butterflies, and I thought, those might look good. So I just started messing around, and I'll let you watch and just see what I'm doing. I'm cutting just the tip off of this. I'm going to put it right in the center of my frame. I'm going to use this stamp that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I forgot that I need to sand these down a little bit before I use them. I'm going to use more of that metallic paint, and it didn't apply very well, but I'm going to go in and try to fix it here in a minute. I'm going to use some more metallic paint by Paint Chakra. This one is called Black Pearl. I'm going to go over my whole frame with this. I'm going to add on some more embellishments. I found some really pretty flowers and butterflies, and I'll let you watch me glue those down. Oh my gosh, guys, would you look at these beautiful gilded transfers? A sweet subscriber sent these to me. I couldn't even believe it when I got them in the mail. I just about cried. It humbles me that people really like what I'm doing and want to support me along the way. And for those who keep coming back each week and seeing me, it just means so much. I've watched other content creators apply these, and I was real careful because I didn't want to mess up my writing. I didn't go over it with Mod Podge because then I'd have to go over the entire canvas with it, and you'd definitely be able to tell where I've been and where I haven't been. I'm going to go over my whole frame using some rub and buff, and this really highlights the corner embellishments and the design around the sides of the bell. It looks so pretty. I added some to my embellishments, and I also added more of that purple moon metallic paint. I'm going to use some rub and buff where I put the stamp, and it does make it look a little bit better. I'm going to go around the moon using that black pearl metallic paint. I think this is what brought the project together because my moon kind of got lost in all the embellishments, and this really makes it stand out. Looks real nice now. Lastly, I added some to my moon. And that completes this project. Let me know what you think about this one. It's a lot different, like I said, from anything I've ever made. I do like it, even though it is different. I'll definitely try some more mixed media projects in the future. I'm happy with the roses. I think those came out really pretty, and those are real easy to make. I think if I had to choose a favorite from today, it would be the embroidery hoop and maybe the vase. I really like them both. I'm excited to hear what you think about today's projects. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. I hope that you consider liking, subscribe, share it with your friends, and if you're returning, you know I love you. Don't forget to check out the playlist, guys. I really want you to see some of the creators out there. There's some really talented people. Until the next one, bye.